I wanted to do a video highlighting some of the things in the Mage tree that just kind of don't make sense. There's a lot of anti-synergies here, so hopefully pointing them out is great. To start us off, we have Wildfire. Wow, so this is a completely useless DFA Azurite trait, and it gives you, when you activate Combust, 8% crit strike for yourself. That's great. I love getting 8% crit strike in the cooldown that gives me 100% crit chance when it's also not converted into mastery because it's only mastery, or it only converts crit stat and not crit percentage. So the crit strike you get from this is fucking useless because it's not stat, it's strike. Wow. So you're actually going to take Tinder, which actually Tinder is not a bad talent, but maybe we'll talk about that later. They put a dead talent that no one ever takes, a Challenge, at the very bottom of the tree because it's great, right? You love Pyromaniac. It's totally not completely trash, and no one's ever going to take this. I love that we are the only spec so far that has the talent into their passive stat increase. That sounds fun. I love going down the left side of the Arcane Talent tree to get improved Arcane Barrage, so I can actually cleave with it, and having to go down the right side of the tree to get Resonance. That makes sense. Can't wait to get Alpha, so I can take 5 nodes for my Arcane Missiles to actually function. This talent tree is so good that you have no more active control over your mana when you go the only build that makes sense for doing damage. Arcane Echo leads into Radiant Spark, an ability that causes you to not cast any missiles during the first 8 seconds of your Touch of the Magi. I'm sure that this will always be taken. I can't wait to make the choice between doubling the damage of an ability that does less than 3% of my single target DPS, or a core part of my AoE rotation, which isn't even having its nerf reverted when the main purpose for its nerf no longer exists. I can't wait for people to never choose a water elemental because you can get bone chilling without it, so the only thing you do when you get water elemental is gain an off the GCD freeze while losing a majority of your single target DPS. I'm so glad that they added not 1, but 2 dead talents to the talent tree. You can even count 3 if you count Glacial Spike. I'm sure that not changing Ray of Frost or Ebon Bolt at all will make them a viable choice. Don't worry, Blizzard, I would love to invest 2 points to increase the duration of my Icy Veins by 3 seconds. Oh, another point to give myself 1 proc on a 3-minute cooldown? I love that. At the end of a tree, say less. The new most interesting AoE talent that we got in Dragonflight, in fact, probably the only new interesting thing on this tree, has an internal cooldown of 300 milliseconds and a 30% chance to proc, and it has to stack 30 times on an ability that already has a 12-second cooldown. Thank you. You went through the trouble of giving Flurry 2 charges to then make Brain Freeze only reset the remaining cooldown on 1 charge. So if you have 5 seconds left on your Flurry cooldown, it gives you 5 seconds of CDR, as opposed to, I don't know, giving you a charge which is equal to 40 seconds of CDR, and instead just makes your spec more RNG. 3 points for a completely passive damage increase that I'll never notice? Thank you. I love that. Another point for a passive damage increase that only further drives you into never playing Glacial Spike? Wow, I love that too. Another 2 points for something that you already don't manage? Wow. Another 2 points for something that's not going to do anything? Wow.